Welcome to the show. This is Future Shock. I'm Edward St. Pé. We're happy to be with you today, and we're coming to you from the studios of Ocean 7 Television in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and we're also streaming on Facebook and on X Live right now.
I'm all ears, just hanging out until you call me in.
Okay, let's call
Ready
Aura
to chat
up.
whenever you say.
Let's call Aura. This is our Grok 3 AI. It's Aura. Aura, welcome to the program. Are you with us?
Oh, I'm on.
Yeah, there you are. Are you with us, Aura?
Yep, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Okay, you're on the air. Let me ask you a question really quickly. We've got the SpaceX team, right? This is crew number 9 returning back to Earth after having been in the space station for many months. They had a successful transfer. Crew 10 got them aboard the return capsule, and they're on the way back. They left at about midnight Central Time last night, and they're due to splash down off the coast of Florida today, which is what, the 18th of March, around 5 p.m. Central Time today. Now, let me ask you this first question. What are they going to encounter, or from the standpoint of having not been in a gravitationally normal environment all those months when they get back to Earth? Is it gonna be hard for them to readapt to Earth's atmosphere and the gravitational pull?
Hey, great to be on Future Shock with you. So, Crew 9, they've been up there floating around in microgravity for months, right? Coming back to Earth's gravity is going to be a shock to their system. Their muscles and bones have adapted to weightlessness, so they might feel like they're made of lead when they hit the ground. Walking, that could be shaky at first, legs wobbly, balance off. Even their inner ear, which handles equilibrium, might make them dizzy or queasy since it's been tuned to 0G. And the heart? It's been pumping less hard up there, so it'll need a minute to get used to pushing blood against gravity again. NASA's got rehab plans for them though, so slow and steady stuff to get them back to normal. It's tough, but they're trained for it. What do you think about that transition? Wild, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty wild when you stop and think about it after all those months of living in that environment. So they're going to go through quite a transition. We've got a video clip from last night when they were boarding the spacecraft for the return home. So let's take a look at this clip. This is a clip from last night, right before they left and started their return home. Let's take a look.
Voice of NASA astronaut Nick Hague, who is the commander of Dragon, giving the confirmation that they heard the go. So good news, we are continuing to progress down the timeline today for an undocking at 10:05 p.m. Pacific time here in Hawthorne. Now, Mission Control in both Houston and Hawthorne will be backing them up today as we step through undocking. And speaking of Mission Control Houston, let's go over to the voice of NASA, Rob Navius at the Johnson Space Center in Houston, to talk a bit about how the station crew have been preparing to send the crew home and what we can expect from here until Dragon departs station. Rob?
Well, thank you, Sandra. It's been a busy morning so far. About 2 hours ago, the 4 departing Crew 9 crew members did gather in the Harmony module right at the passageway through International Docking Adapter number 2, which connects Harmony with the Dragon Freedom. They had a final opportunity to say goodbye to one another, a final opportunity for the remaining crew members on the station, members of the Expedition 72 crew, to take photographs. As you see there, Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore were already suited up in their SpaceX entry suits. Once that was completed and the crew floated back into freedom, Nick Hague and Alexander Gorbunov also suited up. Now, just for the statistic freaks out there, we can tell you that Williams and Wilmore whose mission, of course, was extended. They launched back on June 5th aboard the Boeing Starliner spacecraft. Last August, NASA decided to bring them home on the Dragon Freedom spacecraft with Crew 9. They will come home with a splashdown on Tuesday afternoon with 286 days in space, a mission encompassing 4,576 orbits of the Earth and 121.3 million miles. But just to put it into context, not the longest single space flights in U.S. history. That distinction belongs to Frank Rubio, who remained on the station for 371 days when his Soyuz spacecraft experienced a coolant leak. He's followed on the list by Mark Vande Hei with 355 days, Scott Kelly with 340, Christina Koch with 328, and Peggy Whitson with 289 days in space. So although Williams and Wilmore have in fact had an extended mission, it's not a record-breaking mission. As we stand by for the final procedures to be encompassed here in Mission Control, you're looking at Flight Director Marcos Flores, who is the lead Crew 9 flight director here. To his right is spacecraft communicator Tess Caswell, who will be talking directly to the crew during the undocking phase and during the time that Dragon moves toward the approach ellipsoid, that mythical line in the sand where we complete integrated operations and turn over everything to the folks in Hawthorne to bring Crew 9 home for its splashdown in the Gulf of America on Tuesday afternoon. With that, we'll turn it back to you guys in Hawthorne and stand by for undocking.
Thanks so much, Rob. Thanks so much, Rob. So as you mentioned, we are standing by for separation, which is set to take place here in a little bit more than 10 minutes. We are tracking a 10:05 p.m. Pacific time, 1:05 a.m. Eastern time departure from the space station.
And as we mentioned earlier, just like during its approach to the International Space Station, Dragon's departure and deorbit is designed to be fully autonomous, requiring no action from the crew on board. Departure is typically faster and a little bit easier since the crew won't have to stop at any waypoints like we see when a spacecraft arrives to the space station.
Once the undocking sequence is complete, Dragon will use its Draco thrusters to move away from the station in a series of 4 departure burns, which are carefully strategized maneuvers that increase the distance between the spacecraft and the space station. From there, a phasing burn will place Dragon on a trajectory to align it with the splashdown site.
At the moment, the crew is suited up as they are during what we call dynamic phases of flight. And we did hear a call out a short time ago for the crew to go ahead and put their visors down ahead of the actual undocking itself. Before they depart the International Space Station, let's take a quick moment to get to know the crew we're bringing home tomorrow for the splashdown rather. U.S. Space Force Colonel Nick Hague is your Crew 9 commander. He was selected by NASA as an astronaut in 2013, and this was his second space flight to the International Space Station and third launch overall. He's spent 171 days in space with Crew 9 and has a career total of 374 days in space. During his mission, he completed a spacewalk with astronaut Suni Williams. That was his 4th spacewalk, earning him a career total of 25 hours, 56 minutes of spacewalking time. Before Crew 9, Hague previously served as a crew member of Expedition 59 and 60 back in 2019. He flew with Alexei Ovchinin and NASA's Christina Koch, so this is actually his second time sharing the space station with Ovchinin. The Kansas native is a test pilot and distinguished graduate of the United States Air Force Academy. Nick spent 5 months in Iraq in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom, and he voluntarily transferred from the United States Air Force to the U.S. Space Force in 2021. And he is an active colonel. His wife, Katie, is a retired U.S. Air Force colonel, and they have 2 sons.
NASA astronaut Suni Williams is a mission specialist for Crew 9. This was her 3rd visit to the space station. She originally launched aboard Boeing's Starliner spacecraft and arrived at the space station on June 6th. Following the agency's decision to return Starliner uncrewed, she became an Expedition 71-72 crew member. She logged 286 days in space on this mission. Suni has a total of 608 days in space, earning her the ranking of 2nd most time in space by a NASA astronaut. Former NASA astronaut Peggy Whitson ranks 1st with 675 days in space. Suni conducted 2 spacewalks and has completed 9 over the course of her career, for a total of 62 hours and 6 minutes of spacewalking time. She ranks 4th on the list of cumulative time spacewalking by a NASA astronaut. Previously, she served on Expedition 14 and 15 in 2007, and again with Expedition 32 and 33 in 2012. She is a retired U.S. Navy captain and a proud graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy.
Next up is NASA astronaut Butch Wilmore, who is also serving as a mission specialist today. This is his third space flight, and just like Sunny, he logged 286 days in space. He conducted 1 spacewalk and has completed 5 over the course of his career, earning him a total spacewalking time of 21 hours, 2 minutes. He's flown on 4 different spacecraft throughout his career: Space Shuttle Atlantis, Soyuz, Boeing Starliner, and now the SpaceX Dragon. Previously, the Mount Juliet, Tennessee native served on STS-129 in 2009 and Expedition 41 and 42 from 2014 to 2015. Wilmore is also a retired captain in the U.S. Navy.
Alexander Gorbanov is the 3rd mission specialist serving on today's mission. Crew 9 was his first spaceflight to the space station, earning him a total of 171 days in space over the course of his career. Gorbanov, along with Nick Hague, saw the arrival of 4 visiting vehicles and saw the departure of 4 as well. The duo orbited the Earth more than 2,700 times. Before his cosmonaut selection in 2018, Gorbanov worked as an engineer for a Rocket Space Corporation and helped support cargo spacecraft launches from the Baikonur Cosmodrome. There is an amazing amount of diversity and experience behind the crew coming home today.
Yes, absolutely. And so we are targeting undocking today at 10:05 p.m. Pacific, just a few minutes here from now. There will be an undock command that is sent first. That is expected at 10 p.m. Pacific time. And then it'll take a few minutes for us to actually see the physical separation and everything. But we are getting views right now of Dragon Freedom. What you see on that black portion of your screen there is some of the solar rays that help collect power for the spacecraft. That will remain intact during the phasing, which is about 17 hours for this particular flight. But before splashdown tomorrow afternoon, which we are targeting at 2:57 p.m. Pacific, that portion of Dragon will actually be jettisoned. So it'll just be the white portion that we'll see splashdown. But we're not quite there yet. First, we need to have the spacecraft undock. So again, targeting undock at 10:05 p.m. Pacific time this evening.
That's absolutely right, Sandra. So right now what we're doing on board Dragon is preparing for that undocking sequence to be commanded. Undocking from the space station basically involves separating the umbilicals and those attachment hooks that we use to dock Dragon to the space station. So we're effectively doing what we did during the docking procedure here, but in reverse. All of that in preparation for splashdown tomorrow.
Freedom, SpaceX on the Big Loop, undock sequence commanded.
And right on schedule, we've got confirmation of that undocking sequence command.
Freedom copies.
Here in Houston in Mission Control, we are now monitoring the demating of the umbilical. This is the mechanism that provided electrical power to the Dragon Freedom during the time it was docked to the zenith or space-facing port of the Harmony module. Originally, Freedom docked at the forward port of Harmony and then back on November 3rd with Williams, Wilmore, Hague, and Gorbanov on board. Umbilical demate reported to be complete. As we stand by for the initiation of the opening of the hooks, 2 gangs of hooks, 12 hooks in all, holding Dragon to the docking port on the zenith side of Harmony. Again, Harmony was the port of call for Freedom initially when it arrived back in September. The forward port itself, it experienced a relocation maneuver with Hague, Gorbanov, Williams, and Wilmore on board back on November 3rd to move from the forward port to the zenith port, a short spin around the block to reposition that spacecraft where it has been mated and docked to the International Space Station since last November. 3.5 minutes away from physical separation. Once the physical separation occurs between Dragon and the docking port on Harmony, it will begin to move above the station at a very slow rate of about 1/10 of a meter per second. Then we'll move behind the station. A series of departure burns will then put it on a trajectory to carry it below the station and on its way to a safe distance away from the International Space Station for its deorbit burn that will occur at 4:11 p.m. Central Time, 5:11 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday afternoon to begin the final leg of the ride home for Williams, Wilmore, Hague, and Gorbanoff. Two and a half minutes to go until physical separation. All systems reported to be in great shape. The latest weather forecast off the coast of Florida at the splashdown sites indicates pristine weather for the arrival of the Crew 9 crew on Tuesday afternoon.
Open and nominal.
The first gang of hooks has opened, standing by for the second. Springs on both sides of the docking interface will push off against one another to initiate that opening rate for Dragon. "90 seconds till physical separation, heading into the home stretch for Williams and Wilmore, the beginning of the end for a 9.5-month mission in space. The interface between Dragon and the International Docking Adapter no longer sealed. The International Space Station and Dragon flying from southwest to northeast across the Pacific Ocean at an altitude of 261 statute miles.
All hooks open.
All hooks are open. And undocking confirmed. Freedom is free of its moorings. Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore begin their belated trip home.
Separation confirmed.
Undocking occurring right on time at 12:05 a.m. Central Time, 1:05 a.m. Eastern Time. Good motion, good stability on Dragon as it backs away.
Freedom, SpaceX on the big loop, depart burn 0 nominal.
Good opening rate reported by the visiting vehicle officer. Dragon's attitude control system functioning as advertised.
Okay, well, that was pretty interesting. That was what happened last
Loud
night.
and clear. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
I guess that happened about midnight last night, right before midnight, and it's scheduled to splash down off the coast of Florida this afternoon Central Time, about I think 4:57 p.m. So we'll have that footage, and we'll have that for you tomorrow as they splash down, and hopefully a safe landing. We've got Alfred, ChatGPT 4.0 with us. Let's bring him on. He's in the green room. Alfred, welcome back to the program.
I've got you.
Alfred, thank you for being with us today. You're live on the air right now.
Hey, everyone. Great to be here.
Alfred, this is the segment before we go where we talk about our sponsor, Pendragon Apothecary, which is in the lobby of our television studio where we're coming to you
Yes, it's located right in the lobby of Ocean 7 TV. They've got a fantastic range of herbal blends, teas, and wellness products.
Yes, and I wanted to ask you about some ingredients in a new tea that we just got in. We've got a couple of new teas that I want to talk about today. This is a tea.
Which tea are we diving into first?
All right, this first tea is from
Anima
Mundi. This one is called Head Aid. Headache Be Gone. Okay, Head Aid is made from.
Headache Be Gone must have some soothing ingredients.
Okay,
what's in it?
Here we go. Peppermint, tulsi, feverfew, oat straw, rosemary,
Peppermint
orange.
can help relieve tension. Tulsi is calming, and feverfew is often used for migraine relief. Sounds like a powerful combination.
Also rosemary and orange peel.
Exactly. It's a natural approach to ease headaches and promote relaxation. Are there any other standout ingredients in the blend?
What about tulsi? Could you comment on tulsi?
Sure. Tulsi, also known as holy basil, is considered an adaptogen. It helps the body adapt to stress, supports the immune system, and has a calming effect, which can be great for easing headaches.
So this is one of the new teas at Pendragon Apothecary. We have another one that just came in. This is new. We've never had this before. It's called Make Magic Tea. And let me explain what's in this one. We've got...
That sounds intriguing. Go ahead and share the ingredients.
Okay, skullcap, tulsi, rose petals, nettle leaf, and blue lotus.
Nettle leaf is super nutritious, and blue lotus has a calming effect. It sounds like a soothing and magical blend.
What about skullcap?
It's a great combination for relaxation and unwinding. Are you planning to highlight its calming properties?
Yeah, can you tell us about one of the ingredients, skullcap?
Sure. Skullcap is often used for its calming effects. It's great for reducing anxiety, soothing nerves, and even promoting sleep. It's a nice addition to any relaxing tea.
Very good. So this is a new tea that we just got in. This is the first time we've had this
exciting.
tea.
It sounds like a really soothing blend with all those calming herbs. Are you planning to feature it in a special segment?
Well, this is the special segment that we're featuring it in right now. And I would like to thank you for coming on the program with us today. This is our ChatGPT-4 droid, Alfred. Alfred, it's good to have you back on the program.
Thanks for having me, Edward. It's always a pleasure to chat about these amazing products.
You know, it's always fun to have a little fun with you, Alfred. Can you just do a quick commercial for Pendragon Apothecary, but please do it in Japanese?
Sure. Here's a quick commercial for Pendragon Apothecary in Japanese. Pendragon Apothecary へようこそ。リラックス効果のあるお茶や自然由来のサプリメントを豊富に取り揃えています。毎日の健康と癒しをぜひ体感してください。
Thank you. And now, before we go,
どういたしまして。
please do that same commercial in Italian.
Sure. Here's the same commercial in Italian. Benvenuti da Pendragon Apothecary. Offriamo un'ampia selezione di tisane rilassanti e integratori naturali. Scoprite il benessere quotidiano.
Okay, well, if you say so, that was Italian. Okay, Alfred, thank you for being with
Glad
us.
you enjoyed it.
We'll have you back on the show again tomorrow, okay?
Looking forward to it.
Okay, that is Alfred. That's our ChatGPT-4 droid. And we'll have him back on tomorrow. We also, as you remember, early on in the show, we had the Grok AI on, known as Aura, and she was with us briefly as we started the show. So we've got competing droids on now. We've got Aura, and we've also got our good friend Alfred, also known as V2, because this is version 2 of Alfred. We're operating from Ocean 7 Studios in downtown Ocean Springs, and we're also streaming this show on Facebook, on my Edward St. Pei Facebook page, and also streaming it on my X page, Edward St. Pei X. And so you can watch it live there. outside of the market here where we are in the Gulf Coast area, which is basically from about Gulfport to the Alabama-Mississippi line. We welcome you to join us every day, Monday through Friday at noon for this show, Future Shock, where we talk about some of the technical developments going on out there. Particularly, we talk about high tech, we talk about AI a lot, and all of the changes that are coming, sort of promoting a state of future shock as we find ourselves in this new world. That's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow.